Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
In a world where the flatulence hangs in the air, where the darkness covers the land, where Shotzi's butthole. I got nothing.
It's spicier than
It's
ever.
spicier than ever. There you go. It's spicier than ever.
I did just eat a lot of hot sauce.
You did.
Put a lot on my
It's
burrito.
time for Monster Candy Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dominic Davy. You might have known me from a band called Tsunami Bomb, but maybe not. Who cares? And with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, frontman for the Memphis Murdermen, Screamin' E.
Hey, that's my gimmick.
And
I'm
also,
screaming E. Yeah, I stole Shotzi Blackheart's gimmick.
and I'm also joined by the wrestling madwoman herself, Shotzi Blackheart.
Hey, I'm Shotzi Blackheart. Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
man, that's my thing. What are you doing?
No, it's not. It's my thing. Oh, yeah.
Suck my
I'm Shotzi
butthole
Blackheart.
flaps. Ugh.
Butthole flaps?
Why is your butthole?
It's not my butthole. It's your butthole, Shotzi Blackheart. I'm
Why is-
Shotzi Blackheart.
why is your
I got
butthole-
balls, yeah.
Why is your butthole flap so flappy?
Cause I fart all the time. I'm Shotzi Blackheart.
I mean, he's-
Accurate.
I mean,
That's accurate.
it's fairly, yeah. I
That's
mean,
Pretty good at that shit.
if I wasn't here looking, I would have thought.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Now I'm unsure if I'm Shotzi Blackheart.
Who is the real Shotzi Blackheart?
I just
Shotzi
always look to
Blackheart.
see who has the beard and who doesn't.
Shotzi Blackheart has the bars and
yeah.
beards.
I think that one day you guys should do Halloween as each other. Because there was that guy at the Blackheart Bash that dressed like UE. That
Yes, he did.
And he
Believe.
won.
He won third place. He should have got first.
But he got the best one though.
Yeah. It was
that was
good.
a fun night.
It was
Yeah.
a fun night. Blackheart Bash.
Oh yeah, recap. Blackheart Bash was fun.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that yet.
Everyone, welcome to Monster Candy Podcast. This episode, we're just talking about whatever the fuck we want. So buckle up, buttercups.
Yeah.
So, starting with the Blackheart Bash that happened in October.
The
Yeah,
fifth
it was really
annual
fun.
and last Blackheart
Sure.
Bash.
Is it the last? You guys say that every year.
Yeah.
I don't say that.
I say that every
She
year.
says that every
And
year.
then you do it again.
We'll see.
Yeah, so next year me and Dom are gonna do this.
Yeah, because I was about to say, you asked me to do something with you this
I
next
know
year.
it.
And I was like, how can this be the last? You like straight up said like,
Wait. Whoa.
Last weekend I asked if we could do a cover band with covering the Rocky Horror soundtrack.
we don't
So-
have to do a Blackheart Bash for that though.
No, we
could
don't.
just
We
do
could
that.
just do that.
But if we're going to do it, we might as well do Blackheart Bash since it's like a thing.
Yeah, we could let's open for somebody and do a fun show.
So for everyone that I told that it was the last Blackheart Bash, I'm not saying it isn't,
But it might be.
but it might be.
But it might not be.
But it might not be. This,
But it probably is.
welcome to my nightmare.
It was
Everybody.
the last one of 2018.
For now.
For now.
Anyway.
It's your brand. You can kill it or bring it back to life or whatever.
That's why I don't know why he's going around telling everyone. Like, that's why I've been, like, super, like, I haven't said shit if this is the last one. I just
Maybe
said,
it comes back as the son of the Blackheart Bash.
oh my god!
Or the
It's
return.
alive! It's alive!
Dude, that could be your promo for it.
What?
Just that. Son of the Blackheart Bash.
Yeah.
And you do, it's alive. It's alive.
For those people who
Yeah.
aren't sure what we're talking about, Shotzi and E every year for the last 5 years have
Yeah.
thrown a Blackheart Bash in Oakland, California.
It's a Halloween show.
It's super fun.
It's really, like, tubular.
I've been to a number of them, and it was awesome.
So here's what it is. Years ago, Shots Blackheart was all like, man, I want to be like the fucking horror queen of the rock and roll thing, so like I'm gonna put on this bash. I was like, cool. She was like, I want you guys though to cover Misfit songs, because that's like what everybody does during Halloween, you know.
Yeah, you
It's
cover shit.
So, and since she's like, you guys do them the best, so you have to do it. And I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. So it's a cover show. You get the Memphis Murder Men doing Misfits songs.
It was also burlesque.
There's also burlesques. Some other bands doing other, covering other band songs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
And it is fun.
You guys did it.
It is the most rock and roll bash
But
in
it
the
is a lot of
Bay
pressure.
Area.
But there's a lot of pressure on you too.
Yes.
You look-
Especially when you're, when you're wrestling everywhere.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
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 Well, you guys did a good job as always. It was super fun. I loved your Beetlejuice burlesque.
Thank
Yes,
you.
she always
Your set
knocks
was
it out of
always
the park
great.
with that shit.
The other burlesque dancers were all fantastic as well. I always enjoy seeing Oinga Boinga. Though, yeah, I mean, it was just all good, but I get why it could be tiring.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys do it again, and if they do it again, we'll let you know on Monster Candy Podcast.
Yeah.
If you miss out, you fuck up, because it's fun as fuck.
And it's
And
fun as fuck.
Yeah.
everyone, it was a little earlier this year than we normally do it, but that's where the chips fell on that one. It was either that day or no day. So,
Yeah, that was literally the only day in October that I had open.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
that day had open, too, for the
Yeah.
Uptown.
That's
Your
true.
schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that was fun. Thank you for coming, Dom.
It was nice to be there. I did get called out by a fan of the podcast that I wasn't podcasting like I threatened to do an episode of.
Yes.
And they were like, you didn't do it. And you guys were like, don't bother. And I was like, yeah, never mind. And then I was like, damn it, I should have.
Should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah. Well, hindsight. Next time.
Yeah, next
Maybe.
year.
If it happens.
It's gonna happen. We're doing Rocky Horror
Oh, Jesus.
cover show.
I'll have to put a retraction.
I was just thinking, like, I get really stressed out about the Blackheart Bash, but why not just make myself even more stressed out for the Blackheart Bash and also front a cover band? Doesn't
Yeah,
that
why
make
not?
so much sense?
Yeah, I'll be absent. I'll be on vacation that week leading up to the Blackheart Bash.
Wow, I love that idea.
Considering that the three of us all do multiple things and are constantly like traveling or doing something, yes, we tend to overload ourselves quite a bit. In fact, we all kind of look shell-shocked right now. If
Yeah.
people could see us, we all kind of look like we've been
Hey,
beat
man,
up.
I'm all fucking for it. I ain't a fucking pussy. I'll do that shit.
I think I'm about to, only do contractual shit in October. Other than that,
It was hard to enjoy October this year for me.
right?
I was completely buried in like my band put out 2 new songs, which was really exciting.
Yeah.
We had a show to play in across the country. It was just like there was so much to do.
Yeah.
That I'm a Halloween person 24/7, and I barely felt that month at all.
I fell behind on my horror movies.
I watch horror movies all the fucking time.
I know.
It was every day I was posting
Okay,
that shit.
you
I was
got
like
to-
on IG,
But the
fucking.
month before you were touring and doing a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff, so you just got lucky. You actually
Yeah.
had the October to relax in.
A little bit.
Yeah,
There's plenty of
Blackheart
shows.
Bash.
Blackheart Bash, a couple other shows.
So, I hope you guys do it again, for the record. But I understand, because October, it's like, as much as I love that month and I love that time of year, I love this time of year, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But a Rocky Horror cover band.
That'd be
Would be
great.
That would be sick. And who does that? Everyone does the Misfits. Everyone does the Ramones.
Everyone does the Misfits, but there's only one band that does it right.
Okay, 'tis true.
I'm sure that there is a band. Your version is very good. If you ever get a chance to see the Memphis Birdmen do the Misfits, I recommend
It is you guys do my favorite cover.
But I will say that I suspect there must be bands out there that whose whole bit is to play the Rocky Horror Picture Show songs.
I'm sure there
You
is.
could do a full set with that. So let's talk about some horror shit.
I think we should.
Oh yeah. So I'm watching Sabrina.
The Chilling Adventures of
The
Sabrina.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on the Netflix.
Yeah. What do you think of it? What episode
I
are you on?
really like it. I think I'm on maybe 4.
I finished it last night.
You did?
I love it.
I'm taking my time with it because I don't have time.
Yeah.
No time.
See,
No
you
time.
know, I had said on our Facebook page, I had said that it's like a CW show, but with a little bit more bite. And then I was told, no, it actually is a CW show that went to Netflix. There is no way in hell CW was going to go forward with this.
Yeah, it's way too gruesome for CW.
There's even side boob of Sally Draper getting up Sabrina. There was some major side boob when she gets up
Is
naked.
she old enough? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
she
she
was
would have
19 when she filmed it.
I told you.
But
not
she's
naked
supposed to
in
be
it.
16.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, she looks like she looks
young.
I told you though my feelings on her.
You think she's kind of
She's like mushmouth, man.
Yeah, I didn't feel that in this.
Me either. I like
didn't
her a
think
lot.
I liked her a lot too, and I liked
I think
her
she's
look.
charming.
Yeah, I realize how old I am that I look at her, and instead of like having a crush on her, I was like, I wish she was my kid.
No,
And
me
I totally
too. I
thought
wish she
that.
was my kid.
I was like, I want Sabrina as my daughter, a little devil worshipping child that means well.
Yeah, I like how satanic it is.
Yeah, well, apparently the Church of Satan wants to sue them
Yeah.
over it, which I think they need to
Over
lighten up.
Baphomet.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
So
They need
stupid.
to. They need to lighten up.
Are
But-
you serial?
Yeah, that in the academy, but
It's especially
if it's
especially them for being so like, well, you know, blah blah. We're fucking.
yeah, right,
that's
exactly.
super dumb.
We're the not
It was
religious
silly.
religion, blah, whatever.
Now look,
Like,
the show is very Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's very
Yeah,
CW
very
in the terms of
Buffy.
like she's in love with a boyfriend, and then she meets another guy, and then oh my god,
she
like,
meets another guy.
Not really, you'll see. Not really, but like she loves that dude. But like it's a little like, oh stop it. But like at the same time, like there are some true horror fans in this show.
Yeah.
And there are so many references.
Uh-huh.
Like at episode 4, I almost don't want to throw them out at you because there's so many to come and I want to see if you get them. But I mean,
Yeah.
she has a Hexen poster in her room. She has like the house has a sun window on the roof that is the Flora and Suspiria. There's in one scene the boyfriend's wearing a cut off 10 jersey, just like Johnny Depp's in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
Like there's
for
so
show?
many loaded up references, and it's like, dude, people
Adorable.
know what they're doing in this. But then there's like these casual references where you would have seen this scene in the early scene where they run the funeral home in town and they get this body, and she's like, do they want a closed casket or open casket? And they're like, oh, they want an open casket. She's like, oh, too bad. It's been so long since we've had good long pig. And I was like, whoa, casual cannibalism, just throwing it out there. Right on. Like going for the 1800 term for eating human. Long pig. Right on. Wow. So it's a lot of that. I mean, for anybody who's been under a rock and has no idea what Sabrina is, it is an offshoot of the Archies, a character from the 60s that was a Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And it had a show, of course, that many people remember in the 80s, I want to say, or 90s.
90s.
Melissa Joan
Joan
Hart. But this is based off of a recent revamp from Archie Comics when they kind of made Sabrina a little bit more adult and a little bit more darker and started having fun in horror comics with her. So, and it did so well, it got turned into the show, especially once Riverdale was launched, the show on CW about the Archies. So they launched this show. I don't know exactly why it ended up on Netflix, not CW, but it does seem to have a lot of themes that maybe CW would have struggled with. The fact that everybody involved is a Satan-worshipping witch.
Yeah, I was like, I was a little taken back at first. I was like, whoa, they're straight up worshiping the devil here.
They're not pulling
Yeah.
punches. Like,
Because I thought it was going to be a nice, wholesome,
like cutesy.
little show. And I was
No.
like, I'm just going to snuggle up to this.
These witches eat kids,
Yeah.
worship Satan, like
Yeah.
don't hide it, like
Yeah.
cast spells, like love horror. Like,
Yeah, I was home alone when I put this on, and I'm a chicken, so I don't put on anything super scary. And I was like, oh god, maybe I should turn this on.
I fell in love with this show. I did. I really do love it. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like
like
I
it
wish
too.
I had a kid. Like this makes me wish I had kids to watch the show with them as a horror kind of guy, like I would like watch this with kids.
Yeah, this show makes me wish I had a beer. I wish I had a beer. That's a Cycle Sluts from Hell song.
Oh, fair enough. All right, excellent. I mean, there's even a scene where they're singing Charles Manson song in the choir scene.
Is it Garbage Dump?
No.
Oh.
But I mean, it's just a crazy show. This show don't give a fuck. And it's also timeless. It like they have only like 1 or 2 cell phones in the whole show, couple laptops, but all the cars are from the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, I love how often like shows like movies now try and get rid of cell phones as fast as they can.
I love that shit.
Because it ruins movies.
It does.
Yeah, there's no suspense with them because you can just call somebody and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that during when we did the Halloween episode of this with the new Halloween because they throw her cell phone in the stuff
in the nacho cheese.
In the nacho cheese, and this one they don't even have like one guy has a cell phone in the whole movie.
Correction.
Whole show.
I wish you were a beer.
No.
I wish, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's good.
That makes more sense. Fucking men.
So I highly recommend Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's super fucking cute, and it's got a brain behind it.
It is adorable.
Yeah,
I might check it out.
It's cheesy.
Check it out.
But it's Buffy. It's more if you like Buffy, if you can stand Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like, oh my god, do I love Spike or do I love Angel or what am I gonna do?
See
it's that stuff.
That's where I kind of was like,
but you watch it and then all of a sudden there'll be some sort of reference. You'll be like, oh shit, they're doing this, and some of the references are deep cuts. Like there's some real horror fans running the show.
We'll see.
Who were like, I'm gonna do a CW show, but I'm gonna do my CW show. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. CW, does that stand for Crip Walk?
No.
The Sea Walk?
No.
Some thug shit, Dom. You don't know. You don't know about that life.
So I recommend it. And I think you'll like it when you get to the end of the show.
All right.
Did you guys see Haunting at Hill House, speaking of Netflix?
No.
No.
Is that good?
Yes, but
what's it about?
Like, it's a ghost story. It's a remake of The Haunting at Hill House, but it talks about this family that moves into the Hill House mansion with the intention the parents bought it and they were going to stay there for 8 weeks and flip it. Mm-hmm. But some traumatic stuff goes down, and the show is told both from the perspective of the family when they were kids and then as they are a dysfunctional and troubled adults. So it goes back and forth, shifting time frames. And there's a lot of like, as the show unfolds, it talks about the traumatic incidences that happen. There's a lot about loss. Do you guys remember the show 6 Feet Under?
Yes.
This show reminded me of 6 Feet Under, but with ghosts. And that feel. So it's a it's a heavy emotional show. Super talk about like loss and like losing someone and trying to deal with that and like your life being shit and this family that's falling apart. But now it's like around ghosts rather than around the, one particular death with no supernatural leanings. But all ghost stories should be inherently somewhat sad. So I do recommend it. And one of the cool things that they do in this show is that every episode there are a number of ghosts hidden in every scene. So if you're not paying attention, you won't see it. But as they walk by or go downstairs, there's a ghost in the background, in like the doorway, or in the window reflection, or the hands underneath the piano. Like,
I'm scared.
There's all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. People are like, holy shit. Like, and when there's like 46, 50 ghosts.
Stop, there's one behind you.
Yeah, it's fine. They'll get it done. It doesn't trip me out.
I didn't even scare you. I just scared myself.
Yep. People have been blowing that show up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's going to suck. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Here's what I will say about it. I binged it. I loved it. But what it does well, it does so well that when the problems with it really annoy me. Like it has some problems. I have a little issue with the ending. It works, but I found out what the original ending was supposed to be, and it was way better than the intention. And you guys can look it up and everything, but it was a darker ending. They switched it to kind of a little bit more of an upbeat ending without doing any ruining. It's like, but it doesn't exactly fit. And then there's some characters whose stories don't get developed as well, but then other ones whose stories developed really well. So it's a heavy ghost story. I mean, people are.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know if it'll hit with you guys. It might.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where I know that she'll love Sabrina and you would be,
I just like anything.
This Hill House, I was like, I don't know if it's almost more. I mean, it has one of the most realistic versions of like sleep paralysis that I've ever seen depicted.
People have just been like jihading that fucking show so
Well,
hard.
they were impressed, and it's emotional. It's an emotional show. I mean,
So,
people
like-
cry during this because it talks about like losing people. It reminds
So
you straight
I'm
up
just
of that.
I know I'm gonna watch it and be like, man, this is totally not as good as everyone's fucking blowing loads over.
I don't know if you'd like it, but I mean, I love it. It's a good show. It's a well written show. I think it hurried certain storylines at the very end. It took its time. Like, it could have almost used 12 episodes, which is rare for me to say. A little bit more breathing room. It seemed like they rushed to get it all like tied up, and they did. There's a lot of stories left to be told in this house. They've said they're not going to do any more with this family, but they left it open for sequels. There's a lot. I don't know. It's good. I recommend it. I think it's.
I'll check it
legit.
out. Check it out.
Check it out. Let me know
check
what,
it out.
what you like.
Check it out.
What
Alright.
next? I brought up 2 things.
Well, I'm watching, and I know E is also watching, Eli Roth's History of Horror.
See, I didn't get to
Yeah.
see this. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
It's been pretty good. They should have done it earlier in October. It would have made more sense to me to do it then, because they still have some episodes to go. But
Right.
it's been pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah. I know we were discussing earlier, me and Shotzi, that the one issue I have, and you saw the first episode of it.
No, I've seen nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we talked about how they talked about Night of the Living Dead.
No, that's not me. It's your other podcast.
No, you talked about that with me.
Yeah, I did that.
I know I look
But
a
I
lot
thought-
like Shotzi. We get confused all the time.
Well,
Dude.
you both have sweet
We all
asses.
kind of
It's the
are
ass, really.
like melting into each other.
Yeah.
We all
Anyway.
just kind of look like each other now.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's called being tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hating life.
Clearly tired because we're like laughing at that. Like, that
What are you
was
talking
the-
about? That was a fucking great dad
That
joke.
was the best joke ever.
Best
liked it.
dad joke ever.
But
The one issue I have with a lot of people that talk about horror movies and the shit that they do.
General horror fans, okay?
No, we're not.
or just like in documentaries.
yeah, in
and shit.
documentaries when
Oh.
they're talking about. Is not that this isn't true, but I don't think the two are mutually exclusive.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, we were just talking about it earlier. About how
Social commentary.
yeah, it's like every fucking buff ties it in to somehow being a fucking, which is again is not necessarily untrue,
No.
but it's not, like I said, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Like, it has to be a fucking, commentary on society
right.
to, because it's whatever, I'm like, but they all seem to be like tend to harp on that part,
Right.
which
rather
like
than
I don't
stories.
watch that I don't watch it for that shit. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
just want my
I
horror
just-
movies to be fun and gory.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of funny where they imply certain things and they analyze. Like, people have talked about how the slow walking zombie represents the slow, non-stop march of death on us all. When I know for a fact now that the whole slow moving zombie thing came out of just trying to make them walk cool and
Yeah.
give it a sort of a look.
Like,
that
hey,
kind
you're dead. How do dead people walk?
yeah,
Oh,
they're
like this.
They're kind of stiff
Yeah.
and like they were just trying to make something cool
Well, that's
and fun.
well the.
And
well, that's
it
like
later
the first.
found a meaning.
The first episode was all on zombies, so it was like basically Night of the Living Dead, George Romero, and it was like went from to right away. Oh well, he made that movie was a social commentary on what was going race relations and blah blah blah, and it's like that came after. That wasn't the point of what he made.
He casted we know from what we talked about this.
Yeah.
He casted the actor that did the best, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wasn't racist. He didn't have any problem with anything.
Yeah,
he
he
met
was
this
like, oh,
actor,
yeah.
and he was like, "This actor's fantastic."
And all that stuff. I mean, it could have been a product of the time, like where he was like, "Oh, hey, so
It definitely
There's-
shaped the narrative upon
right."
backwards.
But all of that whole commentary thing came way after. Like, oh, all the guys, that's white militias coming. It's like, well, no, it's just when you're in the fucking sticks, who white people live out there generally, and that's all it's people they knew, and that's who was there. It wasn't like, we need to make everybody white. Yeah.
The statement came out afterwards as a byproduct, but they were just trying to make something cool cheaply with the people they knew. They weren't trying to necessarily make that kind of statement. The statement came after an observation.
Right. But everyone yes.
But so your annoyance is the fact that they don't acknowledge that, like,
that was
no. They're saying straight up that is what it means.
Why.
But
that's why.
But that's not.
And that,
but
like,
Romero said that's like.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just trying to make a really cool movie.
Right.
And
exactly.
He admitted that he saw what people see, and he thinks that's
right.
Inadvertently made its way into the narrative.
Right.
But
what were some other ones that I had problems with? It was in the slasher episode, I think.
Yeah, they did a slasher episode, and I believe it had something to do with crap, what was it? Women? Something about women.
Well, I know, like, for instance, the rule for so long in all those horror movies where if you're a virgin, you live, if you have sex, you die. But that came from John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and that was not their intention to portray that. They were just trying to show that Laurie was...
That is
Laurie
a thing
Strode
that came up.
Was a shy little girl that was babysitting, not going out, and partying like her friends, and that was an easy way to demonstrate it, and it was never intended to make it like this rule that became a rule for like a decade.
Yeah, there's unintentional things that come out of movies,
right?
That you can acknowledge, but you have to acknowledge what the purpose was. It's just like with art. You know what I mean? People
everything interprets later.
Yeah, you know what I mean? People make I want to make this cool thing. Oh, yeah, this looks cool, and then everyone else is like projecting some sort of
fine.
I've had arguments with people about lyrics I've helped written.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, "No, it means this," and I was like,
"No, it doesn't, man.
Dude, I was there. I mean, I'm glad
it can mean that to you.
Yeah, but it's
yes, but don't say that that's what it meant.
Yeah, it's like no.
Yeah, so that's what they seem to like harp on a little bit on this, which I for some, everyone's like, oh, werewolf and lycanthropy, it's kind of signals the like for men, like the animalistic side of men, or when they're going through like Teen Wolf, oh, well, that's just a euphemism for puberty. You know what I mean? Like
in that particular case,
yes,
it was
right.
Yeah.
But like werewolf stories are actually more based on serial killers in
right.
the old times rather than anything else.
Right.
Like,
But people like, oh, well, it means which it can. I get it.
Yeah, it does. It ends up. These meanings come later, and that's okay. But it's frustrating to hear people act like
that's always been there.
Yeah, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill talked about how virginity was important to make sure that was the survivor of their movie.
I will say, John Landis is in this a lot, and he's pretty with it, like knows what's up for the most part. Yeah, well, he actually said that on that. I mean, there's like what we just said. He's like, no, this, but it's cool. They have a lot of cool guests on there to talk about it. And
what channel is it on?
AMC.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll probably be over by the time people hear this. I don't know.
It's what, 4th episode now or 5th
watch
episode?
Watch the fucking reruns.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Sickos.
Man. Watch it. It's good. Eli Roth does it. And they've,
Yeah. All right.
Good fucking.
I don't always like all the stuff he directs. The Hostel films are not my favorite.
Yeah, we were talking because I just watched one of them the other night.
Yeah.
Because I thought when I first saw it, I was like, eh. So
Didn't
I thought
he
maybe
do the Meg?
No. The thing is with me, he did a kids movie, the House with the Clock in it, or yeah.
What?
Yeah, it flopped actually.
I never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I bet he
Surprise.
is sorry that happened. My thing, I realized I'm a particular kind of horror fan. Like, I love horror movies, but I don't like killing and just murdering people. Like, I don't like gore porn, like kill porn. I do. What is it? Slasher porn? I don't know what to call it. But there's
torture porn.
Torture porn.
which they discuss in this.
Yeah, I'm not really into that. I like monster movies. I'm a monster movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with I'm not saying there's anybody's wrong, but I just find myself.
I'm not
like,
offended.
you got a monster? You got a monster? I'm in. Talk to me about your monster.
Yeah, I'm definitely
then-
more into that.
Yeah, and then
side than-
slashers sometimes I can do because they're kind of monsters in a
the
sense.
thing with
but
that
then torture
is-
porn I'm not so into. But
Because
shots
you know,
at
if you guys watch the history,
like a bitch twist.
this show, you'll get it. But my whole deal is like, because they discuss, spoiler, about how that stuff is like what's really scary is like human beings and how fucked up they can be.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously, but I see that shit all the time. Like,
Yeah.
in the news or like wherever, like you see that shit, so it's more fun for me to watch, to suspend disbelief somehow and watch a monster as
Yeah.
opposed to like some guy just killing people, like a normal guy, not like Michael Myers or Jason. Like,
They're essentially monsters.
yeah, you know, but so yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But
I find it that I'm just that kind of fun.
but yeah, it's cool.
But you like to see a bitch to twist. Like you
Yeah.
like torture.
She likes
I mean,
it.
monsters are obviously my favorite thing, but I like torture porn.
Yeah,
She
you
likes
like
the
just,
gore.
Yeah, I like the gore.
Do you like it because it's it's fake and it's effects and you like effects, or do you just like seeing people like there's a certain perverse attraction to seeing people suffer?
I mean, both, I suppose.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I mean, I do like to see
I've
the
already
effects.
made up my mind about you a long time ago. Just kidding. Go on.
Lots of poop.
Just lots of poop.
No, but like, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do like to see what they come up with effects-wise.
Especially practical effects.
Especially, yeah, well, only practical. I do not fuck with any CGI. I don't care what it is.
Did you like the Saw series? Are you a big fan?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan, but I liked it.
Because that's all what it's all about. Is just paying
Yeah.
people for their sins.
I think the first, like, torture porn film I watched was Hostel, and I was all about it.
Okay.
I was like, oh, fuck yeah, what? That's wild.
See, me, I was just like, monsters. No ghosts, no anything. It's just people being
But
shitty.
my problem with that is, like I said, I was telling you, Dominic, God, these people are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, almost so stupid that I can't believe that you'd be like, oh, so wait, two of my friends disappeared and you hot chicks seem to know something? Oh, you know what? Hey, sure, I'll go to some museum with you. That's cool.
Yeah,
like,
right.
that doesn't seem like I'm gonna fucking die either. So yeah, that's a good idea. I'll just go and check it
Yes.
out. Like, if that should happen, you'd have to be super fucking dumb to be like, yeah.
I would have.
No, you
Those
would.
girls were hot.
Get out of here.
And next time we see, like, Shots has been turned into a nice, comfy rug
Yeah.
on the floor.
Would you buy that rug?
I would.
Yeah,
I'd be
good.
like, hey, is this for sale? Because
I think I
she would
know
look
this.
amazing in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Next, under the toilet.
I think I know her.
Under the toilet.
Where all the poop
This
goes.
is my Shotsy throw.
So yeah, Eli Roth's History of Horror.
It's
Check
perfect.
it out. We approve.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Aside from everything I was just like, about.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
But it's good to have.
Yeah.
It's good conversational horror.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Mandy.
Um,
I haven't seen it, but I know you have, Dom, and
Okay, everybody is super up on this.
yeah, that's,
movie's
I
job.
keep hearing about it. Everyone
And-
keeps asking me, "You see Mandy? You see Mandy?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
and,
who's Mandy?
I mean, it got.
Is she on a milk carton
I
or
mean,
something?
it literally got like a 5-minute standing ovation at the Canesville.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Film
Stop.
Festival. Okay.
That makes me not want to watch it.
Here's the thing.
Right?
A lot of people listening to this are gonna disagree
Completely.
with me, but I am not on the board for this train. I thought it was a beautifully filmed movie. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's I'm into a good revenge film is pretty awesome. But this one is like a metalhead trying really hard to do an art film,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, and I like Nicolas Cage, actually. I do like him. You know, and to see him forge an axe,
He was good in 8mm.
you know, of all the movies, he was good in 8mm. But I just, and there was a Cheddar Goblin commercial that's fucking hilarious in this movie, where it's they talk about this particular like macaroni and cheese, and it's this goblin comes out and pukes all over the kids in the commercial, and it's hilarious. And you see boxes of Cheddar Goblin macaroni and cheese everywhere, but
Yum.
it's like, but it just sort of feels like it kind of meanders. I got really excited when Bill, the guy from Predator,
Bill
was it-
Paxton?
Bill, no,
Oh,
not Bill
that's-
Paxton.
that's
I almost
aliens.
got excited. What's his name? You know, I mean, I got Bill Duke. Bill
Oh.
Duke's in it as this crazy like military hermit guy. I mean, he basically plays the guy from Predator, but years later, if he survived. And lived in a
Just
trailer
right
in the
out
middle
anywhere
of the
going to
woods.
say, I'm going to have me some fun.
But to give us
I'ma have me some fun.
have me some fun.
I'ma have me some fun.
tonight. But it's about Nicolas Cage and his girlfriend Mandy, who is played by
She's a fine girl.
Andrea Riseborough.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Have you guys seen that? I mean, it's not like necessarily a new meme. It's been going around for a long time. But the one of Fat Marilyn Manson, where it says, "This looks like Nicolas Cage playing Marilyn Manson." Like Marilyn Manson looks like Nicolas Cage dressed up as Marilyn Manson.
No, but I'm gonna look it up right now.
And he does.
That feels
Like Marilyn Manson, get it together. Like, I understand alcoholism and shit can fuck you up. but-
the dude does a lot of drugs.
Yeah, like just get it together because you look fucking gross, and you look like Nicolas Cage dressed up as you. So pull it together, man.
Wow, there's a lot of articles about how Marilyn Manson slowly turned into Nicolas Cage. So that's funny. I mean, there's this one. I just found this one.
Yeah, there's that. There's so many memes. That,
Yeah, so it's obviously a thing.
Yeah, and it's true. And yet, chicks still want to fuck him, and you whores are fucking disgusting because he's gross.
Yeah, he's pretty gross.
Like Nicolas Cage?
Or
Both of
yeah,
them.
both.
Both.
Well, so wait.
Those are two of
Wait.
the ugliest guys I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
So does
in my
that
life.
mean when chicks want to bang Marilyn Manson, they also want to bang Nicolas Cage? Or is it the music?
I think it's the music. That
Because he's in a
gets-
band. But if
yes.
Nicolas Cage fronted a Marilyn Manson tribute
Cover
band,
band?
would they then want to bang Nicolas Cage?
Can Nicolas Cage sing?
He was in a band. He had a
Was
band.
he?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, let's look up Nicolas Cage music.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. He's a big Elvis
He
fan,
kind of
so
overacts in this movie.
bringing it back
Bringing
to
it
Mandy.
back, but he does kind of overact in this movie, and I mean, I don't know. It's
Nicolas Cage overacting.
like, yeah, shocker, right? And I love me some Cinnabite bikers, but I don't know. It just seems like this movie. I kept seeing like where they were pulling other stuff from, and it seemed like it kind of meandered to it. And I was a little shocked that everybody loves it so much. I didn't hate it. It was kind of boring. But
What's the premise of this fucking
so the
thing?
premise of the movie is there's this couple who lives out in the woods. And they're having a good old life, you know. Like they kind of hint at the traumatizing like experiences they had. She's an artist. He's like this dude that loves her, and
Nicolas
he,
Cage,
like,
basically.
he's a logger, and as I recall, and then a cult that's up in the woods. As they're driving by, the cult leader Jeremiah Sands sees her, and he's kind of this just really obviously Charles Manson type, and then the cult, he's like, I want her. And so the cult makes it happen with their biker allies, and then basically they don't kill Nicolas Cage, and he goes for revenge. And that's all, you know.
So it's like a spooky John Wick, but instead of
yeah,
the dog,
it's
a
just
chick.
super arty.
Huh.
You know, the lighting in
Yeah.
it is really amazing. And are you listening to a Nicolas Cage song?
I'm trying to.
Good luck. But it just isn't.
This sounds like a pile of shit to me.
You know, I don't know, man. The horror fans that I know that like I trust, they didn't like it, but then all these other people loved it, and I will say.
Is this really him singing?
Sounds like him.
Oh, that's from
One of his voice.
yeah.
It sounds like his voice. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Think you could bust out some Marilyn Manson?
yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
You know,
I'm gonna go on a limb and say if he does, he
Honestly-
should do a Marilyn Manson tribute band, or be his body double.
Auto-tune is a hell of a feature on Pro Tools. Auto-tune.
Yeah.
Hell of a feature. No, seriously. The movie is cool, I guess. Everyone should watch it, I suppose. I think you'll be bored, but it looks pretty pretty. It's like going out with this really gorgeous person that, you know, guy or girl, you've heard all this stuff about, and you're like, everybody loves them, and you go out with them, and all they do is they talk about nothing. And you're like, kill me.
To quote the Sloppy Seconds, "You've got a great body, but your record collection sucks." So it's kind of like that. You're like, oh wow, man, you're hot. Oh, I gotta go because, God, you listen to some garbage.
I just
music.
recognized all these elements that it was pulling from, and it just kind of underwhelmed me. But I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me that here's this, and don't get me wrong. You tell me that like Nicolas Cage has been wronged, and he's going to craft a metal axe, like a super heavy metal style axe. He's going to go after and kill a bunch of people. I'm interested, but it wasn't that exciting. In fact, if anybody wanted to see a really good revenge movie, they should check out Revenge on Shudder, because it's about this girl that's having an affair with this rich guy out in the middle of the desert, and his two hunter friends show up, and one of them gets a little too, one of them rapes her, and when she reacts badly to it, the guys turn on her and chase her out into the desert, and she falls off a cliff, and they leave her for dead, and she gets up, and they think she's dead. She's not. She's pissed. She goes after him, and it's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, I really recommend it. It's
Okay.
fucking cool, because she's like this LA girl, but then she like
I
turns
like
into this
tough
badass.
chicks.
You would love this. This is a good movie.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. This movie, and that was a good revenge flick, where this girl's been wrong, it's kind of spit on your grave. She goes after them. I really liked it, and it's hilarious. But this movie was very self-indulgent, is what I'd say about Mandy. But a lot of people love it, so maybe you guys will love it, and I'll be the one that doesn't like it this time.
My coworker described Mandy as a really long doom metal music video.
Yes. I mean, they light up the forest as like red in the night, you know, and then like, so like the forest will be lit as red, but then you'll see these white headlights or yellowish headlights, you know, and then they'll be lit up as blue inside a car. You know what I mean? It's like they're really strong colors. And I mean, there's this one scene that he shows up at this drug dealer's. He has a vision to go to this tower, and then he goes to this tower, and there's this like guy making LSD, and I'm like, I used to be like, I never claimed the X, but I used to be fucking straight edge. I don't give a shit. I don't do anything. But even I was looking at this guy going, that guy is dunking LSD paper into a fucking bunch of LSD fluid, and that would kill him. And I looked it up, and yes, that would totally have killed him. Like, this guy's like barehanded. Like, I don't know what point that was supposed to make, but like any fucking buddy that has half a brain puts on gloves when they're making LSD, and this guy's just dunking his fucking bare skin into
Oh my
fluid.
god!
You know, that he's seeping these papers in, and I was like,
That reminds me of SLC Punk.
yeah, it was just like a stupid, like, if you know enough to put a chemist in there that's making LSD, like, don't be, like, what are you trying to say? He's just like, I don't know. I'm sure there's supposed to be some point about him being this otherworldly character or something, but it was like, just a lot of weird scenes. He had a tiger in a cage.
Sounds interesting.
He let it out on purpose, and then it just, you know, I guess that was supposed to be Nicolas Cage's character, Red. He's a tiger in a cage. I don't know. It was just like, stop.
There's a lot of shit going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean,
I don't
I'm
like
sure
too
people
much
are listening to it
symbolism.
going like, I loved it. You're crazy. Fuck you, Dominic. Brr. Though, the time I thought people would tell me to shut up was when we talked about Bride of Frankenstein. And nobody did. Everyone was like,
No, because-
yeah, you're kind of right.
No, because everyone thinks that they like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, no one's ever
And then
seen
they
it.
watch it, and they're like, oh, wait.
It's terrible.
She just looks really cool.
Yeah.
I just thought I liked
For
it
the
because
5
she
minutes
looks really
she's in
cool.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's awesome. Anyway, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I don't think got anything else to talk about. Although, I mean, you guys just got back from Fest.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
got to hang out with her for a little bit. But we didn't
Yeah.
take a picture while we were out there. And
dumb.
she said, like, well, I'm going to go check out the Legend of Wrestling and then I'll come back. And then she never came back. She left
Yeah.
Florida.
That's how she rolls.
Yeah. She Irish goodbyed me at
Yeah.
Fest. Don't think I didn't notice.
Hi, guys.
I totally noticed.
My ghost.
You kick some ass.
But your wrestling match was super fun.
Thank
Won a
you.
championship.
awesome.
Thank you.
But there's no way in hell you guys would have gotten that
You
big
got
huge guy out of the ring. That's
Tsunami bomb looked like it.
that guy was humongous.
Yeah, he
Totally.
should. Yeah.
There's this wrestler.
We should never even let him in the ring.
There's this wrestler in her match. It was a wild man match. All these wrestlers jumping in. There's this one wrestler comes out, and it is like literally one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in width and height. Not even height, but like he was just a big, heavy dude. And I just was like, well, they're gonna have to kill him. Like you're just gonna have to shoot him.
I mean, he's at
in
least
the head.
500 pounds.
He is.
But if we killed him, how would we have gotten him out of the ring?
You just let him live there. That's his home now. The
Oh.
ring belongs to
We'd
him.
have to like cut a hole out of the ring.
I was expecting somebody having to do some Black Widow shit and just choking him out until he collapsed because honestly, I appreciate that 5 of you got together to push him out of the ring. But I was like, that was the only time I was like, there's no way in hell that big guy is leaving that ring if he doesn't want to. That is his ring now. Like I saw him come out. There are people I look at. I've been in a lot of fights in my life, and you can look at somebody in a minute and go like, yeah, I'll kick your ass. And I've looked at even bigger guys who are like super buff, and I'll be like, you think you're strong? Like I kick your ass. That guy walked in. I was like, there ain't nobody kicking his ass.
Nobody.
He's like
Nobody.
He's just a huge dude. It was amazing, but they got him out of the ring, and Shotzi did win.
Barely.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I won.
But,
so
yeah.
I was in a match. It was me versus
100
25 other people, and I kicked everyone's asses.
You did. You did.
I won.
You had some badass moments in that ring. You were
Yeah.
jumping up and down.
Yeah, man.
Loose
Yeah,
butthole
it's pretty
flaps.
Yep. My butthole flaps were strangling people. throwing
Rabbit
them out of
ears.
the ring.
I don't know. I expected with that big guy, I expected somebody to just pull a gun and shoot him, like Indiana Jones style, like with against the swordsman, where he's just like, nah, bang, and just kill him. Because I was like, yeah, dude, is humongous. It's like, you hit him. Watching you, was it you that hit him with the chair? Who hit him with the chair? Somebody hit him with the chair, and it was like, yeah, okay. No, it was that girl that you kicked out of the ring.
Get out of here, bitch.
Yeah. I was just
So
like,
she
No,
said-
that was Raven.
Yeah.
Raven came back.
Raven. She was, yeah. She was trying to take this big chair and hit that guy, and that guy was just like, ooh, ow. It's like, yeah, right. You don't
He's
care.
like, oh, stop.
I'm sorry to go on about it, but that was like the only time I was like, I don't know what I would do against that guy. I guess I would die, or I would
You
just
run away.
try and choke him, because
No, you run away.
he just looks like he could take a hit. Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for listening to Monster Candy. This is a cool conversation. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Check out the things we said to check out because we're always right, even when we're wrong.
Yeah, tell us what you think. If you think we're wrong or we're right, we'll probably listen and then tell you that you're wrong or you're right, depending on if you agree with us or not. Yeah. No, honestly, we want to hear from you guys.
But we'll probably tell you
Hit us up.
you're wrong. We're right.
And we'll see you next time.
The chilling adventures of my butthole!
You've been listening to Monster Candy Podcast. Want to find out more about the show? Find us on the web at monstercandypodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Monster Candy Podcast. And you can find our Twitter at MonsterCNDYPC. Hey, we couldn't fit the whole name. What do you want from us? Let us know what you think of the show and if we're right or if we're wrong or what you want us to tackle next. We want to hear from you. Well, Shotzi and I do, but I can promise that E doesn't really care. To find out more about Shotzi Blackheart and her professional wrestling, follow her Twitter at Shotzi Black or her Instagram at Shotzi Blackheart. You can follow Screamin' E's band, the Memphis Murder Men, on Facebook at TMMM official page or his Instagram at Screamin' E. That's screaming with no G, add the E. For me, Dominic Davy, you can find my artwork at dominicdavy.com, my band Tsunami Bomb at tsunamibomb.net, and you can hear my other podcast, 3 Gigs, at 3gigspodcast.com, or on the same platform you're hearing this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Monster Candy Podcast.